57% G2, 43% FaZe. That tells me that there's a lot of G2 fans in the chat, because I know FaZe and I know they've got a lot of fans.
It's coming home.
It's coming home? Is that what you're saying,
It's
Demo?
coming home.
Let's see what happens when we throw on into the server. FaZe Clan here starting off on the defense. G2 starting off on the attack.
Here we go. Oregon. FaZe Clan on the defense first. How much that's going to have an impact, who knows? I think Oregon's always been a very 50-50 map, where I don't think it really favors attack or defense. Usually we see a lot of even splits come out. There isn't really too many like 5-1 stomps that we see in the opening half. 6-0s is a very, very rare sight indeed. So yeah, we're definitely expecting a very heat map, very, very close. A lot of fire being brought, and well, the bans, interesting one there. The Monty being banned away. G2 don't want to play against the Shield.
I mean, that surprises me somewhat. I would maybe struggle to count on two hands the amount of times that we've seen, or that I have seen FaZe bring a Monty. It really isn't something that they tend to lean on into all too heavily, at least from the siege that I've seen inside of the BR6. Valkyrie coming in as the final ban. So Thatcher, Monty, Cade, and Valkyrie. Maverick available. Barna available. Nomad available as well.
Yeah, some operators that you would expect get banned have actually been left open. With the Thatcher ban, you would expect Maverick to be left. You don't see all too many Maverick and Thatcher bans going down in Oregon. So the Monty, definitely a bit of a curveball by G2, maybe expecting a strategy that FaZe have with the Monty. I mean, FaZe were never really a team that I struck to be a Monty favorite.
I'm racking my brains here, and I can't really think of too many occasions where I've seen FaZe bring Monty inside of the most recent season of the BR6. And I mean, we didn't really get to see them all too much inside of the Copra Elite 6 that was at the end of Stage 1 of the Latin America season, because kind of bombed out of there pretty quickly. But we are dealing with the game that we have in front of us now, and the other bans that sit, for whatever reason that G2 wished to choose the old Monty ban. I'm sure they've got their reasons behind it, Demo.
I worry. I worry for FaZe.
Demo, we've seen 20 seconds, 25,
I'm already worried for FaZe. Look at their lineup. No denial. Again, this is something that FaZe had no intention of doing against Liquid, was the denial that you need to bring for all of the projectiles. And for a basement defense especially, where everything is revolved around taking control of blue, for them to essentially not take any denial, it's saying, hey G2, come nade us and get your kills, because that's probably what's going to happen.
Quite possibly. G2 do have 4 nades in the pocket, and they're going to be able to use. It is a strange decision that we're seeing from FaZe, and it is a decision because it's something we've seen carry through as a bit of a theme on the day, is that sort of lack of a Jaeger or the lack of a Wamai. Now, of course, they're playing quite spread out here for a basement defense. You can see there's little blue silhouettes dotted all over the map, looking to try and keep that meeting room control and just vie out there on the roam and not give too much ground up too freely here to G2.
Yeah, very, very heavy roam presence from FaZe, and oh, they've already lost the first kill, but there's the refry cameraman. He's quick on it with the mute to eliminate Uno. That's the Sophia down, and also the Mozzie for FaZe. I think that's a good trade-off for FaZe. Sophia, plenty of utility that you would like to have for those final couple of seconds, may it be to stun out the enemy or try and find information, and Citizen gets caught on the stairs. Cameraman, another easy kill for him. Well, half the round gone already. G2 are on the receiving end of a very well-played roam game from FaZe.
Bullet now taking this opportunity to rotate back down into Freezer. He can hold this power position now. Keep an eye on the Freezer stairs. Cameraman has also made it back down after getting those massive 2 opening kills. He's rotated down Laundry stairs, replaced the barricade, and can now look to direct his attention toward where this push is likely to come. And, well, the only place that you go as an attacker on Oregon if times are getting tough is that electrical box hatch drop.
Yeah, that's probably where they're going to try and favor their push, Ollie, but there is one operator lurking for FaZe inside of blue, and that is going to be the Ela. With the shotgun, the Titan Killer as it is dubbed, and that thing hurts if it catches you by surprise. And, oh, talking about catching by surprise, I don't think Cameraman was ready for Kanto as he was lurking on top of the hatch and gets picked off. So back into a level playing field now with 30 seconds to go. Can G2 make it happen?
There's still work here to do for G2, but they have utility to try and work with. Cyber looking to put a challenge in with the shotgun at close range. Kanto finds his second there over onto Bullet, but I don't think that anyone knows where Cyber is. Playing finds one, drops the diffuser, but it is not enough. Kanto goes huge there inside of that round on the Ash, picking up a slew of kills in the dying few seconds.
If there's any man who I wanted to show up this invite, it is Kanto. A guy who we have seen grow for the past nearly 4 years off this esports. He take the world by storm whenever he was Sisu into Ents, and then finally moving on to G2, he hit the ground running, but this split off EUL, not the same Kanto that we're used to seeing, and I really hope he has a good invite because we know how good he can be. Hey, we have seen old gods be resurrected. Look at Joystick. Could we see the god in Kanto return?
LAN environments do funny things to players, Demo, you know that, and as soon as the players get comfortable on that LAN build, things start to click a little bit more. It's an environment Kanto has been in many times before, and I'm sure that as this week pushes on and as we get through these games, he's only going to go from strength to strength. You mentioned there a bit of a lackluster season inside of EUL. Obviously, G2 as a team not really seeing the results that they wanted from today so far. So to come out there and to pick up a convincing round number 1 here in Oregon, on the attack no less, onto basement, is a very good start.
New expansion pack for SI, the resurrection of the old gods. Does that sound good? Who else do we need to show up? Who else have we got that's vets? Nesk, get the Terminator back in.
Yeah, quite possibly.
Oh,
that'd be dangerous.
Nesk, Joystick, and Kanto. Oh, now we're talking.
You get into a dangerous territory there. Something that FaZe have obviously flagged as being a little bit dangerous is those throwables. Bullet has now switched over onto the Jaeger. We've seen Souls as well. He's switching over onto the Oryx, and Cameraman has moved from the Mute onto the Pulse. So enough for FaZe to force 3 operator changes here, which, let's be honest, is quite a lot, Demo. Sometimes if you're going to see a site retried, there's going to be 1 or 2 small adaptations made, but FaZe are almost going for an entirely new strategy here.
Yeah, much more revolved around holding on to the actual bomb site. We've seen an extremely heavy roam presence from them, which I think did work to an extent. They were able to pick off 2 kills from G2, but from there just could not hold down the site, so maybe that's where they realized that could be a weak point that they need to try and improve. G2, see, they're taking much more of a slower pace. They're expecting that roam game again, but as we know, it's not going to come from FaZe this time around. But G2, as methodical as they are, as we know Shas, he has it well drilled into his boys. Take it slow, make sure everything's checked, and then carry out with the attack.
We can see the drones moving through there, one into kitchen and one into security. Those areas are both going to be called as clear. Citizen just trying to gather a little bit of intel there at the bottom of Laundry Stairs, but Cameraman with a little off-angle challenge. Not sure if he baited that knowing that the drone was there. It certainly seemed to look that way as he knew exactly where the drone was placed on top of the washing machine. He's now able to regather some information, see if there's a push coming from the back of Citizen there, read down those Laundry Stairs, but we can see that that isn't going to be the case. Instead, Kanto is going to turn his attention from that meeting hatch and maybe look to put a challenge on in. A drone has gone down, but with the barricade still being in place, it's a risky challenge here for Kanto to start making. Don't forget, Cameraman is playing on the Pulse. He has the heartbeat scanner. He likely knows that Kanto is in this position right now at the bottom of these Laundry Stairs.
Oh, I don't think he does. Cameraman isn't in a great position. He's more focused on seeing who's inside of meeting, and at the moment, there is nobody from G2. This pressure has now been shifted away from the meeting side of things, now towards Laundry, and Freezer Souls has been able to rotate and have a flank with the Oryx. Kayak goes down, and a 3 versus 5. G2 need to try and claw this one back. Kanto up to the test. Can he find the Oryx? Yes, he will, Souls. tried to delay him as much as he could, but to no avail. And cameraman, a great position. The UMP isn't working for you. Finally it is. A 2 versus 4, and now G2 in the thick of it. Bullet, can you find the final kill? No, you can't. Uno is there, but Astro picks up the remains, and FaZe Clan, a much more anchor-orientated defense, works the charm.
Certainly wasn't the cleanest defense we've seen in our lives there, Demo. It was quite scrappy toward the end. The UMP proving, well, I guess living up to its name, should I say, as often touted as the worst gun in the game. I think someone quite famous once said that. Bullet as well, getting a bit aggressive on that final swing. I worried for him then. I was like, Bullet's lost his head. He's going for this peak, and he doesn't really need to be like, you've got a numbers advantage, time's ticking down, but FaZe desperate to get that round in the bag. Call it all square at 1 round apiece and move off upstairs into kids' dorms.
So that's the bottom floor locked out now for FaZe, and like you said, Ollie, to the top floor we will head. Operator change-ups. That pulse has been sacked off, and now we're seeing the Echo come into play. An operator that we know G2 has favored quite a bit to obviously kind of help with their aggressive playstyle, being able to use yokai drones in more of a roam advantage way. I wonder if FaZe will maybe try and do the same. We know FaZe already from the games that we've watched so far. They're up for their own game.
Quite possibly. Souls there going to be on said Jaeger. Of course, the change to the yokais with them now being fairly visible. And of course, Valkyrie banned inside of this fixture, banned out by FaZe. It does give that opportunity to use those yokai drones a little bit more aggressively out there on the roam, and then try and get them back if you can. But usually it isn't the end of the world if you lose one out there while it's assisting one of the players that's going to be playing elsewhere. Typically, inside of Latin America, we do see a lot of attention being paid into this downstairs area. We can see Bullets inside of dining. He's ready now to just start of challenging onto the push that's going to come in through this small office.
Small tower take from G2, obviously seeing the setup that FaZe are attempting in towards the dining and the kitchen, and of course in towards that showers where Astro is currently trying to hold down, and that white window is going to be open. It's going to cut off his cross. You see Cyber, he's trying to help out as much as he can, but you're up against Citizen, and oh, Astro barely makes it out of there. So FaZe already falling off very early from their shower hold.
Cyber inside of security has the drop to, the hatch, sorry, to drop into if required. Kanto's managed to get showers control now and is looking to be working off some sort of intel, keeping his eye on that white stairs area. A hotly contested zone for these defenders. Astro's been able to make pretty much a full rotate though, and has got himself up laundry stairs and could maybe get himself up armory as well.
Kanto just waiting, holding down the rotations. If FaZe want to try and get some people shifted about, he will be there to shut them down. And well, Bullet, he's going to be the man that G2 need to eliminate, him and Cyber. Even Astro as well. I mean, all three of them in a kind of triangle formation. Set up, ready to refrag off one another. And G2, that time is slowly ticking down. You better get a move on Souls. He's been naded, I believe, and he's going to be downed. I do know that they still have one player above, and it will be Cameraman, so they can pick him up. This is strange from G2. I really don't know what they're going for. Perhaps a double window jump in?
It's all looking like it's going to run out of time fairly quickly. Virtue is naded on in there through big window, but all it's really done is given a line of sight that can now be used vertically if a player on the side of FaZe gets themselves into that position. Bullet's still not being rooted out of kitchen here as the stuns come on in. We can hear gunfire coming in all directions. Tries to find some safety in one of the corners, but Kanto shuts him down. There are only 25 seconds left remaining here, so there's still a lot of work left for G2 to do to successfully attack onto this top floor. Kanto looks like he doesn't really know which way to turn and could maybe be running out of information. Soul's playing tight there inside of Attic on the breach. A brilliant frag there that he's able to find over onto Kayak. Virtue is looking to get a plant down, but will be getting challenged. There's a yokai in the vicinity. Cameraman is able to take him down. The time is going to tick on through. Kills come in for both sides, but they matter not. G2 running out of time there in round number 2.
Time, the biggest enemy for G2 on their kids' attack, not working out for them. FaZe able to hold on. Yeah, G2 started off going for that west side take and then slowly just kind of stopped. We got around the minute mark and nothing was happening. We've seen Kanto have to take the kind of initiative, go in, try and clear out the kitchen, and it was a bit of a last-ditch attempt. Being able to jump in through double window, it's risky, very, very risky. A lot of different angles can catch you out. I don't know, G2, they seem as if they're focused more on what FaZe are doing rather than playing their own game.
They're getting dragged into this game by FaZe. Look how much time we saw FaZe able to waste there defending into meeting and kitchen and those kind of areas. I want to draw your attention to cameraman demo. Cameraman was inside of kids' dorms for the entirety of that round and was able to push through and get 1 kill onto Virtue and essentially win his team the round. Because I don't think we even saw anyone on the rappel.
Yep.
I think we did see some nades get tossed in. I will give G2 that. I do think that Virtue tossed a couple of nades on through. Not sure if he missed his first one or if he was just removing utility. And then the second one did go in, but it wasn't enough. There was no drone that came in off the back of that to then call that as, right, he's still playing inside of that area. It's just, it's a hit and hope. It's, you know, throw it at the wall and see what sticks sort of time.
5 seconds remaining.
So, for FaZe, that means that the top floor and the bottom floor are going to be locked out. So now they have to go to a tertiary bomb site, and they're going to opt for the meeting. Not my favorite. I usually am a fan of the dining hold over the meeting. I think if you take Big Tower, you open up the meeting walls from Big Tower, the entire bomb site is open, and it's very difficult for a lot of defenders to try and hold that.
The teams in LATAM love meeting, and I kind of get why, but they do just have this sort of preference for a little bit of meeting. Now, Liquid play it differently to everybody else. We haven't really seen all too much of what FaZe want to do here, as I personally haven't seen them play Oregon for a good deal of time. So we don't really know what we're to expect here, but they're bringing the clash on the Souls. So that tells me that they're going to be looking to try and keep control of something, and I would wager that it is Attic.
One thing I could imagine why FaZe like to go for this bomb site is this is a lot easier to flank compared to a dining. If you look at the ways that you can flank that big tower, you have the attic, you have the bottom stairs, even the kitchen corridor we've seen flanked a few times, whereas you look at the small tower, it's very easily sectioned off by the attacker. So yeah, I kind of do get why they would like to go here, especially with FaZe. You know, we've seen already a light flank from them, the Oryx that came in one of the rounds. So yeah, definitely for FaZe, it suits their playstyle. How well can G2 deal with this clash though? That's going to be a big obstacle to get over.
So far, half the round has gone, and we've seen a little bit of work being put in here by G2. They've managed to get open into the attic. Struggling to make progress on in, though, because there are some vertical holes have been opened. Drones can now come through, though, and they're going to call that Souls is going to be playing inside of attic on the clash. Something that really does need to be dealt with. The hatch is reinforced as well, so he's playing up there to die.
More or less, it's I think it's information more than anything. If you know that G2 are going very heavy in towards the attic, then you'll get a general gist that, hey, they're going to try and take above as well. And, well, G2, a little bit scared, I think, of the clash, just waiting to see their prime opportunity. And, well, albeit, I mean, to FaZe, they should be a little more careful as the diffuser now is going to come in. Oh, what a crossfire established by FaZe. Cyber baited him out with the C4. Kayak had to move, and, well, the multitude of angles being held is enough to shut down the G2 planner, and Bullet. The long angle eliminates Virtue, and he's in a great position to hold down this breach. All he has to do is just keep peeking away, and almost gets taken out. Citizen will find Souls. The C4 misses, and Kanto, he's going to try and stick the defuse. Uno, he catches the man flanking. Another one comes for the flank, and Cameraman hits him. Uno, though, still stands strong. The two Finns left inside of the 2 versus 1 Bullet. has to climb back, but no, Kanto shuts him down. The Finnish duo, they pick up the pieces for G2 and they push on 2-all.
Big round there for G2. It was a round that was set up by FaZe with a very clear intention in mind, and that was to deny the plant vertically with C4s. We saw 2 C4s used there through that electrical box hatch up into meeting and trying to get the players that were obviously looking to either plant on side of the stage or Kanto, who was recovering that diffuser. Kanto on the Ash, just a little bit too quick there. He was able to pick that diffuser up and get him, scurry himself away to some sort of safety. And maybe a bit of a story of that round for FaZe, a slight lack of information.
Hey, give credit to where it's due for Kanto. I mean, that initiative to know that, hey, we need to get this diffuser down if we have any chance of winning the round, and he just flew in like the Ash main that he is, and he stuck that diffuse. Beautiful cover, though, from Citizen and Uno alike. Just great team play, being able to work. FaZe, again, I think they're doing very well with that aggressive playstyle. You know, the double flanks that were trying to come in, just trying to hit them on all fronts. But this time, G2, they adapted to that. They knew exactly what FaZe were going to go for, and they set up appropriately for it.
I feel like G2 didn't overcommit in that round, which was one of the things
they
that
didn't hunt.
Really led them to some success. Previously, we've seen them really committed to clearing out this roam game, and they kind of just let it happen and let it unfold. Now, it's not a viable strategy. It's not something you can rely on doing every single time. But there are occasions where you can just say, look, you know what? We're going to have to just try and deal with this one this time. We can't afford to be going and hunting them. Is this round going to be any different? Could this be, Demo, the start of G2 playing their own Oregon here?
Still 2 rounds up for either side, really. And oh, Uno, that's a little bit sloppy being caught out, which is usually a common angle being held by defenders. He's still alive, though. Where's your whiff stand, Sophia? Where'd it go? Oh, yeah, it's not there anymore. So, someone is going to have to try and move in and pick up Uno. Kanto, for the meantime, is trying to cover. Souls will find Citizen, and this is a very bad start for G2. Not the way you want to start off the round. 3 remaining players, essentially, of G2 are going to have to try and saving Private Uno, I suppose, as Cameraman, he's still lurking above, and this has been the real player that G2 have struggled against, has been Cameraman, and oh, the SMG-11 spray misses! Cameraman, for a region which has been gifted with the skill of controlling that weapon, clearly somebody missed giving you the parcel.
Cameraman can handle the SMG-11 on his day, and that's proven there in the kill feed. He got the down that was at the start of the round over onto Uno, and poor old Uno's just been left to bleed out by his teammate. Obviously not worth the risk of a revive there. Quite rightly so. Kind of weird, Demo, to say that we saw G2 not hunting, not over-aggressing, not over-committing, and then we just see them rushing through blue. And since the start of this round, it's kind of been overshadowed by that initial down that Uno fell to. G2 still yet to find a kill in response as a trade, as Cameraman has picked up his 2nd kill inside of the round. I think he heard you, Demo. He's proven himself now with that SMG.
Delivery, he must have missed it. He had to go down to the post office and recover his package, and it's here for him. Cameraman definitely showing up. The legacy of that man goes very, very far in the Brazilian community. It's been around since really the start of LATAM. Virtue creeping down the backside now, but I think FaZe are aware of that, and they will just sit it out and wait 30 seconds. They know all the pressure is on G2. It's only a matter of time before Kanto and Virtue have to push into their crossfires. Cameraman plus C4. He does get finished off, though. Doesn't really need to be doing stuff like that, but still, he tried his hand and gets eliminated. Astro will pick up one and bullet with the other. FaZe Clan, a great way to respond.
A flawless round there for FaZe. Off the back of a good G2 round, this game could be one of those that goes a little bit back and forth. Demo, I know that
Oregon.
The B stream has had a couple of overtimes today. I know that Tim and Des do seem to attract them between themselves. This could be the start of our own little overtime here on Oregon.
It's Tim's bald head. It must pick up some signal or something. It must be reflecting.
Some sort of magnet.
Satellite
or,
dish.
Yeah, there's certainly some science that goes on that Means that we need to hit Ace and Dez casting all 15 rounds, but I wouldn't mind casting these two for all 15, I'll be honest with you. So far, pretty close stuff. FaZe are edging it by a round, but we've not seen a significant lead yet develop between either one of these sides.
I mean, we've got our staple players so far. Cameraman definitely leading the pack at the moment for FaZe. And if you look at G2, Kanto, the clear favorite right now. 2 players still yet to get a kill for G2. Kayak, the new boy to the side, and Virtue. Where's he at? He's a player I always look to who can just, at any moment, produce something truly magical.
Yeah, it's a difficult one when you've not got everybody stepping up. You know, Kanto's really carrying a lion's share of the weight here. So we do see Kayak and Virtue both sitting at 0 kills. I mean, then again, you look over toward the side of FaZe and, you know, you kind of expect a bigger performance out of Cyber and Bullet, and there's time yet still for that to happen. Souls as well is very consistent inside of that support role. For Cameraman to be stepping up today, for me, it's a breath of fresh air because he hasn't been in the greatest of form lately, but it seems, yet again, get these players onto the LAN build and see what they can do.
If we've learned something from day one is that, looking at Alamau, he had a very poor opening, and then bang, 22 kills. Anything can happen.
I'm not sure we'll see 22 kills in this one from any one player, but I would love to be surprised. Maybe it is Kanto's days. A good deal of the way there already. We'll have to see how it all pans on out. This is round number 6, though. This is going to be the last round for G2 to be on the attack and FaZe to be on the defense. Obviously saving if we do go to overtime or not. We will see a little bit of switcheroo later on if that is the case. But in terms of regulation, this is going to be it for G2 on the attack.
So G2 look as if they're playing more for the Attic side, which I like a lot more than what they did previously, where they tried to clear in towards the west side, taking Small Tower into Kitchen. This is their game. This is how I want them to play the Siege. They have control of their armory. I'm sure they probably have control of their bedroom as well. And that's really all they need. As long as they have those 2 points to try and control, you can make anything happen. That's your bread and butter. That is the attack for your kids.
Cameraman's still able to play here inside of the attic area. There's yokai drones buzzing around at his feet as Souls is just quickly deploying wherever is necessary. Astro going to hit the successful impact trick there as well. Does have another impact grenade in hand. No other impacts on the team though, so with the Hibana, of course, you're going to be able to bait those impacts out. Cameraman seeing some pressure now, though, as the push is coming through. The barbed wire is going to give the game away. Cameraman goes for the swing. Virtue comes in with a big shutdown, finding his first kill inside of this fixture.
G2 almost missed him, but Cameraman, the timing was not with him, and Virtue, like I said, will have that kill, his first kill off the game. Is that maybe a sign of many more to come? Bullet, that's a scary position. You can find somebody who tries to cross in towards Attic, used in the hatch from below. So Kayak, he needs to be careful as he is the man lurking over towards the Attic side. Bullet will find Uno with a C4, and Kanto, can he win that gunfight against Cyber? He's going to go for the Ash first to get rid of the Melusi charge, and he comes, has to reload, and Rush has actually missed the Banshee as well, and FaZe above, they found 2 kills, and the third Kanto goes down. Citizen all by himself, and FaZe, just out of nowhere, lock out the round.
Almost another flawless there. If it hadn't been for Cameraman dying to Virtue inside of Attic, that would have been a flawless round back-to-back there for FaZe. That puts them in a bit of more of a lead now. It's the biggest margin we've seen between these two teams. A 4-2 split on Oregon Demo. It isn't too bad on the defensive side. That is kind of to be expected. A missed opportunity there, though, for G2. They've attacked upstairs twice there, and they've really desperately struggled both times.
Everything can change now, Ollie. This is the switch. G2 on the defense, FaZe on the attack. How many times have we seen sides take an equal sharing? 4-2s across the board. It happens a lot more than what we actually think it does. I definitely think overtime is on the cards, 100%.
This
This first round, though, that settles the opinion.
is going to paint the picture, Demo.
This is
You're
it.
right. Yeah, this is really going to paint the picture because, you know, G2's mental is going to be low at the minute. They've lost 2 games so far today. It's the last game of the day. It's been a long day as well for them to, you know, deal with what's happened, get themselves amped and hyped back up again to come in now for this final match. So it's been a grueler, and it's been a grueler for all the teams that are involved. You know, it was a conversation that was going on Twitter that, you know, players and teams, they're used to playing long extended hours. But this is such a big stage. We're talking about Six Invitational. It doesn't get bigger than this inside a Siege, and everything mounted up, it really does add into something. So both these two teams are going to be giving it their all here, and G2 need to come out with a convincing win here to start off their defensive phase, just to give themselves a bit of an easier time.
Yeah. Let's see how this defense goes for G2. Mira, an operator that we don't see all too often, Ollie. I think that's a fair assumption, especially for a map like Oregon, where she is very, very strong, I think, for that basement. You look at the electrical hatch. Underneath that, you can place a mirror window looking in towards blue. Usually, it's better if you can kind of kite off the hatch, but in this scenario, Kayad has been banned. Bullet finds the opening kill. Kanto giving away very easy kills to FaZe, and that gives them the lead. There is still a roamer above, though. There's a man lurking on the laundry stairs. Astro is going to go for the challenge, and Citizen sits him right back down. Astro, a little bit antsy there. Did he have to go for the peek?
There's been some bold peaks today, Demo. It's something me and you have commented on as we've been watching the games backstage. There's been
just LAN.
A lot of aggressive peaks and players really feeling themselves. And Astro maybe there just falling on, you know, a bit more on the side of aggression than he necessarily needed to. I don't think that he droned out the player there that was on those laundry stairs, obviously it being Citizen. Citizen nearly died himself. You know, he's not sitting all too pretty. Less than half health here, but it isn't going to concern him all too much. Still able to beat a gun in the dying few seconds.
Is Virtue still above? Yes, he is. And he could be the key to G2's success. I mean, in this position that he's in, all he has to do is wait until about 30 seconds. Whenever it gets to that stage, you start creeping. Nobody's really going to look for you then, but it looks as if he has been droned out. They know somebody's in Armory. It was a red ping, so Virtue himself will be noted, and he's been spotted. We'll see if he can get out of it. Nobody from FaZe really wanting to go for the challenge. All of them looking to push down in towards the freezer, perhaps, but now rotating around. And FaZe Clan just finding their bearings. I'm not entirely sure what they're going for. Now it looks as if they're just going to try and wrap round and go for the back hatch, potentially. And yes, it is Cyber outside of blue. So FaZe, a very late rotate to be going for this. I don't know if this is going to work for them, especially with Kayak, who still has all of this utility with the shield, with the smokes. Uno finds a C4, 25 seconds to go. FaZe, eat your heart out.
Cameraman's actually inside of the bomb site, finds the kill over there onto Citizen, rushes all the way in through to Supply. Is he going to be able to find a second? Yes, he is. All these kills are coming up FaZe right now. Souls finds the final one onto Uno. FaZe, they flick the switch, they change the push, and they sweep G2 out of the site.
Gobsmacked. How have they done that? How have they pulled off a 30-second blue push? That shouldn't happen. I don't know how G2 have allowed that to just... I do sat back and they let them take the bomb site. I don't know if they were planning on playing for a retake. I don't know. I thought there would have been somebody close on the electrical hatch ready. You know, get a shotgun user there to blast them as they run through. I don't know. A lot happened in the 30 seconds, Ollie. Very, very difficult to break down.
It really is. I think it all starts, and the best place to start is always the beginning, Demo. It all starts with Kanto. Kanto gets himself killed at the top of Freezer Stairs within the first, what feels like 30 seconds of the round. From that point onwards, sure, we see Citizen able to get one back as a trade, as we saw a bit of over-aggression on the side of Astro. So, okay, both sides, 1 for 1, nice and equal. However, the difference there being that G2 had no other intention to roam on that bomb site. They were looking to play Kanto out upstairs as just one sole ranger, a loose and fast gunner from the west that's going to be able to get himself in and get some frags if necessary and dip back down and get himself back to site. That didn't happen. And because that didn't happen, FaZe then were able to gain complete map control. Sure, they lost Astro, but no one on the side of G2 actually made any significant rotation. From that point onwards, it's an information gathering game. And FaZe gathered a lot of information there. We could see that that was what they were trying to do. Yeah, they had Virtue upstairs, but they were able to just totally ignore that and then look to try and push on into the site. The kills come up FaZe in the dying few seconds, the Toxic Babes. It was one of those situations where, sure, you've got the Toxic Babes, but you've almost not got enough time to use them.
Bullet, what are you up to? What are you doing? You're not allowed to do this. You cannot do this at Invite. You simply cannot walk into the bomb site. You simply cannot. And no, he won't. Citizen isn't having any of his antics. Souls is going to join him, and, well, FaZe, they've went for a blue rush once again. G2, though, they have the man advantage, which is the big difference. I say that Souls has found another one. The support from FaZe is showing up. Can the support of G2, can Kayak go big? He has got his first kill off the game. Can he add to that? One big round from Kayak would be amazing for his confidence at this stage in the game.
It has leveled out to an equal 3-3 after that first little engagement. You'd have thought that G2 would be able to hold on to that advantage for a little bit longer, but now FaZe are actually able to deploy some of this utility. We've seen Cyber draw a line there inside of that reinforced wall with the Maverick blowtorch. He's now got just another line of sight to start peeking from. Cyber does as well have the diffuser, so there's the chance that he could actually try and get this down. Souls is on for a triple kill. He's gone massive inside of this round. Souls, you could get yourself an ace here. Virtue's found one back as a trade. Souls knows where the last player is, goes for the swing, he finds it! An ace from Souls to wrap the round for FaZe.
What? First ace? I don't know. Of the competition? Probably. I haven't heard of any other ace. Has there been another ace? Who was it?
Who do you think?
I don't know.
Alamo.
Was it Alamo?
I think so, yeah.
We didn't get a chance to see that team on game.
First ace on this stream. First ace on this stream.
Wow. And the thing is, how did he manage to wriggle his way into the bomb site? How did he manage to end up behind a mirror window? I don't know. The rounds are going too fast, Ollie.
You got to keep it when it's last time demo. It all happens.
You said they weren't a crazy region anymore. You said they don't do this.
I mean, this is good aggression, though. This isn't reckless aggression. It's not. This is tempered. It's coming out with, you know, they're producing round wins here. I think it's probably going to be no surprise to anybody. The reason we are seeing the G2 player cams right now is because they have chosen to take their tactical timeout. They need to gather their thoughts here. Demo, we were billing this that it could go to overtime. We were billing it that it could be the first game that we're going to see that's going to have some significant legs here on this channel. On the A stream, that is, obviously the B stream getting all the OTs today. And yet we sit now at a scoreline of 6-2. FaZe haven't dropped a round on the attack. They finished at a 4-2 split. They're now on a match point. And G2, I mean, just look at the way that the players are looking. They look pretty disheartened.
Yeah, confidence doesn't look great. I don't know, G2, Brazil curse perhaps, just cannot perform against this region. And I mean, G2 was always a team that could always beat the LATAM teams. You look back at all of the competitions that G2 have played against FaZe and Liquid. Well, Liquid beat them that one time at Atlantic City. Well, not this team, but the old core. But yeah, I don't know, just LATAM being a bane of existence to G2. 4 rounds is what they need to pull it back into overtime. But Ollie, with the confidence that FaZe have and what they've just pulled off, that's going to be very, very unlikely.
If FaZe go for another rush round here, it could be over, because that would be the last thing you would expect. You know, you've just had a tactical timeout. All the tempo has been taken out of the game with that tac timeout. I don't think we got to see the player cams of FaZe during that little phase there. I would imagine that they're still pretty hyped. They're going to be feeling themselves. You know, Souls isn't going to calm down in 45 seconds after he's just got his first ace at Invite. That isn't going to happen. So for this round, it's going to be a massive one for G2. I mean, as if we need to, we could just have a quick look at some of the ratings. Kanto's the only positively rated player on the side of G2 at the moment. Everyone else really seeming to be struggling on that side. We get the round breakdown on screen as well for you. You can see just how these rounds have been going down. It's been very aggressive. There've been a lot of gunfights. No intentions to plant, really, from the side of FaZe.
And the thing is with Kanto, I don't think he's had a kill in maybe 3 or 4 rounds, I think.
I don't think he's had a kill since they got onto the defense, no.
Yeah, so Kanto fallen off a little bit. But hey, never count your chickens, Ollie. Never count your chickens. I think what SI has taught us already, I mean, G2 were in a position of 6-2. And what happened to them?
G2 6-2?
Well, no, that's...
No, that was something else.
That's a different meme.
Sorry, that was something else.
Look at Team 1, look what they did.
Yeah, they did. They got the reverse sweep almost onto them. It'd be very poetic for G2 to be able to come and pull that out, and it'd prove massive mental fortitude on their side. Obviously, you know, for Kayak, this is his first invite. We're looking at his POV now, and you can only imagine the sort of pressure that the guy's feeling at the moment and how much he wants to show how well he can perform, because he's a fantastic player. And we've seen him play in incredible ways.
You've got a smoke in tier 3. You don't see that. I mean, I like it. I don't mind a smoke inside of tier 3. You have the shotgun. If people try and repel in, you can just blast them away. Even the smoke grenades to cover off vision for the windows if you have to run away. I mean, smoke's not a bad operator to really have. And oh no, Astro, has he weaseled his way in? Yes, he has. He's in the bomb site again. How are FaZe Clan doing this? Astro, how? The diffuser's trying to be planted by Souls, but Kanto has stopped that from above. And hey, maybe this could be on for G2 now, as Kayak has found another. Virtue has been down in the process. Kanto's going to be stunned. Kayak has managed to find a kill, and now it is a 2 versus 2. Cameraman and Bullet up against Kayak and Virtue. Kanto's been eliminated by Cameraman. Kayak, doesn't find the kill. Bullet seals the deal. FaZe Clan, what? I don't know what to say. G2 beaten 7-2 by FaZe Clan. Wow.